We've got some insane breaking news from the WNBA, and I'm telling you right now, these are the types of things that happen that make you really question the seriousness of the league. And if these people in charge just don't have a clue as to what they are doing, because it's been reported by Annie Costaball that we have some major stuff popping off right here, and it is this. Rickea Jackson, the Chicago Sky and LA Sparks are in discussions for a trade that would send Ariel Atkins to the Sparks for Rickea Jackson, multiple sources told her. While nothing is finalized, an announcement is expected Saturday. Well, today is Thursday. Interesting that an announcement wouldn't be expected until Saturday, but this is nuts. Now, this isn't nearly as bad as the Angel Reese trade, dumping from Chicago, dumping Angel Reese to Atlanta for virtually nothing. But this is the LA Sparks now turning into a bunch of imbeciles where you would trade Rickea Jackson for Ariel Atkins. We're going to discuss this, man. Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Her Game, Her Way Women's Basketball, where we talk facts over feelings, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. I'm your host, Rudy Rodriguez Show. I'm on hit the like button, the hype button, the subscribe button, comment on it, and leave your thoughts because I am floored by this one. And then, of course, follow us on social media, Her Game, Her Way Women's Basketball. Let's jump in, man. I'm at a loss for words right now. Rickea Jackson is a second-year player in the WNBA. Going into her third year, averaging 14 points per game, 3.6 rebounds, 1.6 assists on 44% shooting, 35 from three, 83% from the line. She's 6'2". She's athletic. She's skilled. She's growing in her game. She's 24 years old. She's under a rookie contract. And you want to go, and she started 72 of 78 games in 2 seasons. And she got better from year 1 to year 2. And you want to trade Rickea Jackson to the Sky for Ariel Atkins? This is just so hard to believe. Ariel Atkins is playing, just came off of her 8th season in the WNBA, was at Washington for 7 years, went over to Chicago in what was a pretty awful trade with the Sky trading their 3rd pick for Atkins, and that 3rd pick turned into Sonia Citron. Atkins played 34 games last year, started 34 games. She missed a quarter of the season. She had averaged 13.1 points per game. This was her worst season, realistically. One of her worst seasons of her career. She shot 44%. She's career 42.6 from the field, 36 from three, 85 from the line, 3 rebounds, 2.5 assists. She's a 2-time All-Star back when she was in Washington back in 21-22. And she has been a starter for much of her career in the WNBA. I'm not going to sit here and say that Ariel Atkins is a bad basketball player, but she's at the tail end of her career. She's going to be 30 years old in July. And she's nowhere near the athlete that Rickea Jackson is. She's already hit her ceiling. She is the player she is. She does not make LA better and the fact remains that there are no other players that you could include from Chicago to make this actually be a good deal from LA, because the roster for Chicago is largely terrible. Ariel Atkins is the only asset that they have who's worth anything. And then on top of that, you're going to have to pay more money to have her on your roster in LA, because she's probably going to be in that mid-tier salaried player, $700,000-$800,000 potentially, while you're going to get Rickea Jackson, who's still on a rookie deal, even with the escalator that they've included with the CBA. Even with that, you're still going to get her for less money, still have her under a contract for 2 more years, and you're going to get Ariel Atkins. And the thing is, again, the Chicago Sky's roster has nothing. The roster has nothing. Again, Rebecca Allen, Rachel Banham, Camila Cardoso, who they're not going to include in this trade, Markeisha Davis, Mariah Jefferson, Kia Nurse, Michaela Onyenwere, Sevgi Uzun, Courtney Vandersloot, Haley Van Lith, Maddie Westbeld, Elizabeth Williams. I mean, you can add any one of these players in there. Obviously, Reese is no longer there. But you can literally add pretty much every player on that roster to this deal, and it would not be a good deal for the LA Sparks, unless there's something that I'm unaware of that we have not seen yet. Or is Chicago now just going to give away a whole bunch of first-round picks? Because for head, this deal's not close. This is the Sky winning a deal, which is shocking in itself, but you know it can't be that fucking simple. You know there's got to be something going on in this situation for which Chicago's giving away way more than this to get Rickea Jackson, to put her in Siberia of women's basketball. I mean, Rickea Jackson looks like a goddamn model. She should be in LA. She's fit for LA. It makes no sense that she does not remain in LA. And if I'm Rickea Jackson, I am going. I'm saying, please, God, no. Do not trade me to Chicago. Do not trade me to Chicago. This trade actually would make a lot more sense, realistically, if Chicago had kept Angel Reese. If Angel Reese was still in the Chicago freaking Sky roster, and Angel Reese might be looking and saying, wait, you just traded me to Atlanta. Sure, I approved it. But if you told me that you were going to bring in Rickea Jackson and get rid of this old fucking fart Atkins, I might be saying, yo, we got something here. We now got a front line with Cardoso, myself, and Rickea Jackson at small forward. We might have something here. We might. I mean, you gotta wonder that. You can wonder that. Now, I could be completely wrong, but you gotta wonder that. A couple of days after you've given away your top asset for basically nothing, and now you want to now you're going to potentially get Rickea Jackson for a washed out old vet who's long in the tooth and is not nowhere near the player that Rickea Jackson is and can still develop into. This is why it's so hard to take this stuff seriously. Not to mention the way it's reported, it won't be announced until Saturday. So is there a deal or is there no deal? If there's a deal, then why is it taking 2 days to tell people the deal? Why does it take 2 days to tell folks the deal? This is how they report stuff in this league. It's crazy, to be honest. But Rickea Jackson being traded to Chicago, wow. If that happens, because they haven't finalized anything yet, you got to find out what else is included in this thing. You got to find out what else is included. Because I'm sorry, Ariel Atkins on her face does not make the LA Sparks better than Rickea Jackson would be with this team. I thought the Sparks were going to get better this year again just by having played together last year with Kelsey Plum going over there. I thought they'd become a better basketball team just by that experience together. Presumably they kept most of their parts. But unless there's something else that they haven't announced yet, and that Chicago's going to completely lay out the farm and give away all their future first-round draft picks, or hell, are they going to trade Camila Cardoso in this deal too? Because then if they do a Camila Cardoso, Ariel Atkins trade for Rickea Jackson, now Rickea Jackson's sitting there like Angel Reese, like, oh my God, you just did this to me. Again, I'm speculating because there are no other assets on that roster besides Cardoso who would make this trade flip. Because right now, as it is, head for head, this is a bad deal for the Sparks. This is a horrible deal for the Sparks. And I challenge anyone to tell me differently. Y'all leave y'all thoughts in the comments. And this will definitely be some topic of discussion tonight at 9 p.m. when I welcome the Mid Majors podcast as we do our live on women's basketball, because I'm going to be interested in what they got to say about this one, because this is crazy stuff to me. Y'all leave your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like, hype, subscribe, share the video, get the word out. We appreciate you. Rickea Jackson to the Chicago Sky for Ariel Atkins. Crazy. We got to see what comes out of this, though. This is nuts. We appreciate y'all. Her game, her way, women's basketball. Power, come on now. Come on now.